Okay, so I'm back. A little technical issue that the screen stopped getting Wi-Fi connection in the midst of it. So I'm going to try and do this again. Sorry about the inconvenience, and I hope it works. Okay, so today's topic is nature journaling. I've been doing a lot of it this summer and just love it, and I hope you'll join me on this adventure. So for me, it's connecting, being out in nature, and being curious about what I see and draw. It's not about the perfection of drawing, it's curiosity. So it's really good for my health to be outside. They say that being in forests, there's healing properties, and most of us are drawn to being in nature anyways and generally feel good when we're there. The other thing is it's very good for my brain. There's studies saying that the wiring and the curiosity of exploration and seeing things is good. So why not do it? And then, of course, my love of nature and drawing. So for me, it's a win-win-win. And if you've never tried to draw something in nature, give it a go. You know, just take some copy paper, a marker, and go outside. So for me, I've spent a lot of time on my balcony, and I have what you call a hydroponic tower garden. So I'm observing the plants that are just growing, and I just draw them there. Sometimes I'll take pictures of them because they do grow and change, but it does give me pleasure and a sense of curiosity. And I really don't worry about what I'm drawing. I try from skills I have to do certain things, but I love it because it's like a meditation. So the first thing I want to share is I do have a little bag. I'm looking into getting a lighter weight bag. So it's just nice. It's right by my patio doors. I can grab it and it has everything, the basics that I need to go out. And then if I go on a hike, all I would take is maybe sit upon so I could sit down, but I do have a solution even for that. So the brand that I really like right now, and I have several, is the Stillman Burn brand. This one, I believe I grabbed this, but I have quite a few, is the Epsilon series. It's a mixed media, pen and ink, tri-medium light wash. If you are going to a local art store, most likely they carry some brands, probably can online shop. So it's the alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta. So it sounds the Greek to me. So the beta is watercolor. It says extra heavyweight. This one is heavyweight paper, takes light wash. So I'm not sure if this doesn't have any label in the inside or out, but check to see if it takes watercolor or whatever you're using. If you're just using pencils, you probably have a few more choices than I do. So I like it. It's a soft cover, but the paper isn't too flimsy. It's not like copy paper. And I've done drawings with some light washes. Even this one has more paint and ink on it. The other thing I found recently is it's just an acrylic piece. It was by the glass at a Hobby Lobby, and it was $2. But I like it because, you know, besides just putting a piece of paper behind it, it kind of protects the next piece. And even when I'm working through, it's not like it's bleeding through. So it kind of helps a little bit, but the paper quality is pretty good. And then the other thing that was suggested by another art journalist, she actually uses an acrylic. This is actually a watercolor mixing board, and I kind of converted it a little bit different. So when I'm out, and if I was standing, it's really hard to juggle everything, like your paints, so what I can do is I put Velcro, the original little container that it has candies in it, and then you put the plastic inserts. I think I did a video about it before. So I had the metal because the case was metal. So when I switched to this is a Van Gogh, it was an empty palette. It doesn't shut well, so I'm using the rubber band, but I like the size of it. So I have my 6 colors in here, plus my Payne's Gray, Burnt Sienna, and I'm playing with a different blue as well. I have this little palette that's in there, comes with a travel brush, this particular palette, nice point. And, you know, to make it into a bigger size brush, I just put it into the handle. But I'm going to show you a couple other travel brushes I really like. This pops open, and I could put like another piece of Velcro on it if I wanted. So the idea is the back's Velcro. I stick it to the Velcro. And then if I was standing up and journaling, I would have my paints right there to paint. You know, this is if I'm standing. If I'm sitting, then I might have a board or something on top of my lap. But you want to think of easy ways out in the field because of weight. You know, we don't want necessarily our backpacks or hiking bags to be filled with so many different things. So that's one of the tips I share with you today. It's new, so I'm playing with it. I also have these binoculars I like. They go close up and far away, so I can see birds, butterflies, inside of flowers, you know, without some sort of magnifying glass, which is really nice. And then, of course, I like the Tombow pencils. And I also like, I take these with me, one or the other. It's a twist erase. It's by Pentel. I think I found it at Target. There's a 0.5, 0.7. There might even be a 0.3 lead, but I really like the eraser on it. And this twists down and twists up. And it's like those white erasers. It really erases really well. I really like it. I do take a kneaded with me, but for portability, I just pulled this out of this little pack. I bought this at the local office supply, but I know there's a different brand that's a little thicker, but it stands up. Hopefully you can see it. So I peeled that back and I have everything standing up. Great for outside at my table, but will stand up in my backpack. And if I laid it on the floor, if it's strapped over my shoulder, I could open this up and grab, you know, whatever I need. Now, the idea is not to take so many things. I do like a ruler in there. I do like my red see-through gridded rulers. I do have a couple Tombows. I'll take one or the other of the retractable pens. And then I do have several different, I want to talk about the brushes I take with, and a couple of the pens that I'm using right now. Still kind of testing some stuff out. And really like these new travel brushes I found. Oops, let's be hiding in here. I'll just take it out. Okay, so I brought some just watercolor paper for demoing here. A 2H or an HB is probably what I like, or the smaller leads. And then a lot of times I'm holding the pencil at the backhand, doing light. But these erasers are pretty good on these twist and erase. Oops. They really pick up nice. And the problem with the kneaded eraser is it needs to be in a case, or it's going to pick up all the leads and shavings in your bag. So that's up to you. But I do like carrying one of the Tombos. I also like the double or twin tip Sharpies. There's the thicker one and a fine. If you're beginning to this, take a pencil and one of these Sharpies with it. It's great. Now, if you start getting into color or you like ink, I'm drawing a lot with ink right now. This is an inexpensive Pilot Kakuno calligraphy pen. I like it. I think there's different tips that come with it. I like the very fine, and it has cartridges that can be replaced. So unlike, different painting classes, we don't outline, but in sketching, I like to outline and ink drawing. So I think in my book, you can see that was blue ink, but here I just did a little sketch with the ink pen, and I'll talk about what I'm doing right now in the last several days. Okay, so as far as brushes, this Van Gogh palette that I showed you with my paints comes with this travel brush. It's got a nice point. It seems fine. I could see being limited with painting bigger things. So there's a couple ways to go. Are these beautiful refillable waters brushes. There's all different brands out there. So they have a reservoir filled with water. And I'll show that in a second how it's used. So there's a round I like. Hopefully you can see that. And hopefully my internet's working. And then this one's a flat. I also have a small spray bottle with me to activate my paints. So I like it because it's not real thick. I do have a water container that screws on for leaking. Then I do like brushes, ink brushes. So I have a few but the idea is find, some have ink cartridges, some you refill, some are throwaway. If you're concerned about the environment, you probably want the refills, so you're not buying. This one's a nice one too. It comes in golds and silver, and I believe there's refillable cartridges. Ooh, it was clogged before, and now it's just flooding. So the idea is, can you get thick and thins? Because when you're drawing, you want to be able to do it. That's just really leaking. So I like those. There's also brush tips that are harder. I don't think I have one in my palette right now, but I'll show some more things. And then I just found these really incredible brushes. They are travel brushes, and they're made by a company called Rosemary and Company. And I've bought her brushes for botanical painting before, but an art journaler recommended these two. So it's nice because they're half the size. And then if you need a full size. So this one is a, why can't I think of the name? It lifts up the paint and completely blank. It's a scrubber. And I've recommended Creative Mark and I think Fitch, but this one's really nice. And her travel brush, there were several, but I love this one. It's soft for blending, but it has a great point for painting and softening. So look at this point on it. It's fabulous. Let's see if I can move this down a little bit. Maybe you can see it there. Okay, so I'll just put some paint on the brush just to kind of show you. So it goes, I can go really fine, which I love in a brush. And I can also blend with it. So if I take, it does a really nice job. I really like it as spring, which I always talk about, and blending. So that's this. And then the scrubber, when it dries a little, maybe we can play with that. Now, for the reservoir brushes, which have water, you just put your paint down and you kind of squeeze a little bit to activate the water. Now, if I want to do some blending, I would just put the water down first, like wet on a wet. Excuse me. And then I would just blend that. I thought that was my paint spray, but that's not. It's a different, deeper blue. So this is nice to use. You need some sort of, excuse me, I might have to get some water. You know, you need to wipe off the tip after you use it. So I'll probably carry a paper towel in my backpack, or you could have a sponge or an old sock or towel, because you don't want to be doing it. That's the only thing with this. Or if you have a container of water, you could rinse it out as well. And then there's the flat brush I talked about. You just wipe the tip. And then what's great is that covers wider areas. So you don't need too much. If you just got the one travel brush with the point, that's good. But these are really popular, the lightweight. If you don't want to take containers of water with, you really don't have to. They'll clean up really nicely. So that's kind of what I've been using lately. There's also, this is a nice product. It's called Presto Jumbo Correction Pen, old fashioned, right? And it's really good as an opaque covering. You can use white gel pens. We've talked about this, but look at how it covers right over the ink line really well. So sometimes if you've lost the white of your paper while you're sketching, or you need a dot in a bird's eye, this is a great little product. I found it on Amazon and really like it. It might be at a local store. I always like supporting the stores. So I think we covered most of the supplies. I do have a portable sharpener. I had it out. Let me see if I covered it up somewhere. I want to show it. It's a Faber-Castell. Here it is. Sorry about the view. It's nice because it has two different holders for different size colored pencils. So one of the accessible pencils that I'm recommending if you want a small pack, I do have all the Prismacolors and there's other brands, but for beginners, I like this because it also follows my, this is the Quran Ash products. You can buy them separately, but I like it because their 6 basic colors can be converted into my split primary palettes, 6 tubes. So I do like that. And then you get, you know, an orange, a green, and there's a purple in there. So for sketching, it's quite nice. The other thing that you could do with these palettes is you can wet them and drop in your brushes to create color. But you need a sharpener with you. And there is a great sharpener for at home. I can't think of the name, and it's not labeled, but I will post that eventually on there. But it makes great points. All my pencils look sharpened right now. Let's see if I've got one. But, you know, there's sharpeners and there's sharpeners. And let's see if I have, this one looks dull. So basically what happens is you are pulling out, squeezing and pulling out this top piece. Hopefully you can see it. And then you're squeezing the top and putting the pencil in as deep as it will go. And then it cranks. And basically it stops when the pencil is sharp. So look at that pencil. That is a good pencil. And often when we're working with colored pencils, I talk about being able to have a really, now I wouldn't take this nature journal. So the last thing I want to share with you to get you connected with nature. So besides its healing properties, it helps our brain, it rewires connections, it does a lot of good things. I'm drawing and loving and learning about my world around me. So it could just be a potted plant, it could be in your backyard. And then of course, the best is if you can actually walk and get outdoors and be on a hike. So on YouTube, I've been watching a woman who has been doing some videos on plant families. And so the last several days, I've been watching it and learning about different plant families, which I've studied before in botanicals, and kind of just drawing her little photographs that she puts on the screen. And they aren't great quality, but she talks about the plant families very simply, which I really like. And then I have several types of botany plant family books. I can go back and clarify or Google what I don't know. So that's another way if you're growing a garden. So, you know, I thought this was spectacular for my curiosity. So today we studied the pea. I studied the pea family a little bit, and I found out that the indigo plant, which does grow out my way, which provides the indigo dye, is part of the pea family, and that the gum arabic in our paints, which is an important part of watercolor paints and paints, comes from the acacia plant, which is a exception plant, but it is in the pea family. So for me, what I want to do is now I have a curiosity to go look up the indigo and acacia plants and maybe draw them next to the pea. So not only am I drawing, I'm connecting with nature and I'm learning. So I hope it inspires you. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow me. I'm on YouTube and Instagram, and would love to hear from you. Thank you. See you next time.